Hello and welcome. My name is Whitney Clark, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. We are here live in Detroit, Michigan, and I am a writing candidate for Detroit City Council. I am running for this office because I know that together we can ensure that our neighborhoods and that the city of Detroit, quite frankly, is a place that is conducive for families that want to come here and thrive. And so we have to step up. We have to come off of the sideline. And we've been doing so much great work. And hopefully, if you are watching our YouTube or if you're watching on any of the platforms that we're posting on, hopefully you've at this point seen some of our work. Hopefully this isn't the only video. And if it is, if this is the first video, definitely go ahead and put our name in Google or YouTube and look at all of the interviews that we've done. What I'm doing this morning though is responding to a couple of the news outlets that I see. What I'm learning is that all of the pertinent information that constituents need to know in the city, it's almost impossible to get it all in one place. I'll give you an example. You know, it's 2025. The way that we get information nowadays is through podcasts. The way to be your most informed today is to watch the news that comes on the television. Also know what podcasts are, you know, going on and that talk about the issues that are relevant here in the city. But then you also got to know basically event planners. I guess that's what you call them still, right? People that are actually, oh, they call them space curators. That's what they call them now, right? People that curate spaces and people that are in the business of getting out and touching and feeling people and bringing people together. Those three avenues are the ways that I stay informed about what's going on in the city. It's the way that I kind of, that's the way you stay on top of things, you know? And I am someone because of just what I do and because of who I am and because of the season that I'm in life, and obviously because I'm running for this office, um, I am I get a lot of information that is good for people to have, and I think that it's the type of information that is sometimes it's objective information, right? Maybe more, yeah, it's more objective information. Sometimes it's a position and a perspective and a talking head that you aren't used to hearing. That's one thing. And then the other times, I just get careful, bud, careful. Sit right there for me, please. Sit right there. Thank you. Sit right there. And then other times, I just get, you know, and other times I have information because of the geographics and because of the people here in the city and because of the way the information is shared in the platforms and the spaces that they're shared in. Sometimes they don't reach the people that it's actually most, you know, sometimes it doesn't reach the people that it's intended for. And so that's why I can get on here and try to give out the information. Anyway, I'm talking long about some of the things that I want to respond to. But one of the things I definitely want to respond to or get into it about is a candidates forum that we had last night. Not right now, but go in there with mom. Go to your room and get a book, okay? I'll be in there in just a minute, okay, Rev? Those are fire sirens. That's a fire truck. He wants to be on screen with you guys. We're getting ready to do another episode with Rev, and his channel is doing well. His adventures. I don't want to say his channel, but his endeavors are going well, and so be on the lookout for a new episode. Nevertheless, we did the candidates forum last night, and I want to take you to it so that you can kind of hear a little bit of how it went. You know, and I also want to just put this out here because we're at this place now where it's like, you know, if you're going to be voting in this election, then you probably know the people that are running, right? You know about the people that are running. And so with that being said, I think it's time that you understand like how full of crap some of these people are. And that's the nice way of putting it. Full of crap. Full of crap. And what you see in these forums, specifically speaking about Miss Renee DeMiller, you're going to see her talk in a minute, the heavyset lady. What you're going to hear is just a lot of yapping and not a lot of talking about what the issue, like how you're going to fix the issue. I want to talk about how we fix the issues. She's not a big fan of me talking either for long periods of time without her being a topic of conversation. Do you want to get closer? I think she wants to get closer. This is Riel. She's the boss, actually. How you doing? How you doing? Let me get you something to play with. In just a minute, Remy. I'll come get you in a minute, okay? I'm almost done with this. You responded to something? Video is a little bit, we're not doing that right now. Let's see if this will. Let's see if that'll work. All right. Anywho, again, I want to set the context for what we're about to look at here. We had a candidates forum on last night. Ms. Renata Miller, George Adams Jr., and myself were the three candidates that are running for City Council District 5 that did come to the panel discussion. Ms. Jackson came a little late, actually at the end. And so there's that. But it was a pretty interesting discussion, and it was just straight questions from constituents, which was pretty cool. I want you to check out a little bit of this here. Let's look at this.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Whitney Clark. I am a write-in candidate for Detroit City Council, a husband, a father, business owner. I'm also a licensed minister here by vocation. I work right behind Dutch Girl Donuts, right there on 7 Mile and Woodward. And so you can stop by on a Sunday morning and see me anytime you like to. Our service starts at 10. Listen, this election is about who's going to make the best argument for you. This election is about who's going to tackle the big issues. Who's going to tackle housing? Who's going to ensure that we have the type of schools in our neighborhoods that make us competitive? Who's going to ensure that it doesn't take as long for businesses to get open? Who's going to ensure that our seniors have the type of families around them that make the neighborhood safe again? That's what this is about. And I've got education. I've got a wonderful family. I've got a great track record. But this is about you. This is about who's going to make the argument for the neighborhoods that we believe have been forgotten. This is about who's going to ensure that our seniors who have given so much have the right to age with dignity. Come on now. This is about who gets the contract. You know what I mean? Because the business is happening, but it ain't happening for us. So that's what this is about. I'm the person who's going to make a compelling argument. And I'll say this and I'll take my seat. The way that you get this type of work done is by bringing people together. That's the way you do it. By being someone who's consistent in their approach. professional in their demeanor, someone who can find common ground with anybody. I can work with the Bloods and the Crips. I can work with the Democrats and the Republicans. Yes, I said it. Because we've got to figure out how to bring resources to Detroit, and second of all, how to keep resources in Detroit. Because they come to our neighborhoods with their convenience stores, and they take our money. Come on now, somebody say amen. That's what we've got to focus on. How to bring resources in, but also how to keep the resources we've got inside our neighborhoods. And that's what this is about. My name is Whitney Clark. You won't see my name on the ballot. You got to write it in. Whitney Clark, District 5. Thank you so much.
Hey, listen. That right there. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? So now she thinks we're playing a game. She's certain that we're playing a game of pitch. Okay. I wanted to share that with you. I want to give you an opportunity to see really just the energy and the passion that we are attacking this race with. And I want you to understand that we are focused on how to move the needle. Because my thing is, I think we're at a point in the city now where people don't really care about anything but the results. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're at this. Yeah, I agree. I certainly agree. But I think we're at a place right now where it's just about the results, you know? Like, how can we move the needle on these issues? Not how can we massage the psyche of the people so that they're okay with us not doing anything, you know? And so that's that. But I wanted to share that with you, just a snippet of our forum last night. There were a couple of other pieces. That I would think you want to see. Let's see if we can go to another piece. Adams tried to follow that. It wasn't strong. He's not I like Mr. Adams, and he's a cool guy. He's not strong. Now, what this lady, she asked me a second ago, and this lady was there with Mr. Adams, quite frankly. She had on the same shirt he has on. So I think she's at least a supporter, if nothing else. So she asked me, kind of lightheartedly, you know, when I said I could work with the Bloods and the Crips, she said, you know, haha. She said, you know, basically, do you mean that? Do you mean that literally or figuratively? Haha, you know, we kind of chuckled. And that was my response.
So whether I work with the Crips or Bloods, that's a great question. I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because, you know, actually working in ministry, especially in 7 Mile and Woodward, I don't know if you're familiar with that corridor, but I mean, anybody walks up to you. We got that bus stop right there, and it's right next to the church's doors. And so you literally have all types of people that you're going to be dealing with. And I made that reference to make the point that you've got to have someone who can bring people together. Listen, we've been fighting the same challenges for many, many years. And people have been asking why we don't have movement on the issues. I believe it's because we're working in silos. You've got your challenge. You've got tax. You've got homes. You've got the alleys, right? And then nothing happens on the big issues because we aren't growing in the same direction.
Yeah.
And so when I make that reference, to say that once elected, I'm going to be working with these individuals. They've done work in their neighborhoods. They've done something great, right? election season passes, we've got to switch gears and figure out how we can harness the power that is created when you bring people together. Me shouting is one thing. Us shouting is different. Who's the person who's going to sit in the seat that's going to bring everybody together? That's the question. And that's why I say I can work with the Crips and the Bloods.
Listen. And quite frankly, this is the weirdest thing to be responding to yourself, by the way. But again, this is what you have to do. You have to take matters into your own hands because it's a local race, and we don't have the media apparatus for people to react. You know what I mean? Like, people don't react to a city council District 5 candidate forum. You know what I mean? Like, and so, yes, it's weird for me to respond to my own words. Nevertheless, it's imperative and important that we use what we have to spread our message. And so, with that being said, this is a game. This is a game for her. This is a game of fetch. And I'm the fetcher, and she's the fetchie. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this, which is why I'm getting going on and off. But I'm with Miss Riel this morning. She's my co-pilot. You want to sit with me? All right. She just got done trying watermelon for the first time, and she enjoyed it. It was a great success. She enjoyed it. Just trying new things on the palate is always a blessing. But what I'm saying though is, we've got to have someone in the city council seat that can bring people together. That's going to be a quintessential characteristic of a successful council person. You've got to be able to, because listen, there's only so much you can get done with your group and your people. And I don't know if you even realize this. If you're actually in the work that is being done in the city of Detroit, then you realize that, like, the laborers, it's really like the leaders of the movements and the people that are doing the most work and the people that are the most responsible for sending the message out. And they're the same 500 people spread across 40 organizations. You know what I mean? Like, they're the same people. And so you've got to figure out a way to, like, galvanize, identify, and really kind of mobilize those people. And because they're going in 50 different directions. And then you'll see a person in this meeting, and then they are completely committed to what they're talking about in that meeting. And then you'll see the same person, is what I'm saying, in a different meeting, and they're committed to multiple issues, is my point. Does that make sense? But there isn't a leader who has shown people how it's all connected. That's what we don't have, is a leader that has shown people how these issues are intertwined together and how they work, and cohesively. And so that's what we're talking about. Let's see here. Oh, we got to a point last night where something that I said must have struck a nerve for Miss Miller, because she accused me of being all talk. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh, he asked a question about. Like, okay, so what this gentleman asked was, there was a gentleman in the audience, and he asked a question about returning citizens, right? Don't judge. Listen. You've been her age before. Don't do it. Let it go. Okay. No, what I'm saying is, there was a gentleman who asked a question about returning citizens, people that are coming back from incarceration, essentially. And their answers were forgettable. Give us a minute, bud. Just a second, buddy. Real. Careful. In your room. Go in your room for a little bit more. We're almost done here. Do you have a book that you're reading? Go find the book that you're going to read, okay? And we'll be in there to read it in just a minute. We're all going to be reading, actually. So keep your eyes open for reading with Rev again. That's what we're getting ready to do next. Today we're getting ready to do the rain. It's kind of raining a little bit, so I think our adventure is going to be moved inside. There's going to be a cooking adventure and a reading with Rev today, and so he's patiently waiting. Patiently is a subjective word. Anyway, returning citizens. And so what do you do for people that are coming back from incarceration? What is the process? What is the plan? How do you handle it? This is what the candidate said.
Let me touch on that real quick. I think that's important. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. But you see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of forgettable chatter. Like, what are you saying? How are you going to get people? We don't ask you who you know. We're asking you, how are you going to get people that have been incarcerated reacclimated into society? That's the question. I know you didn't hear the question, so I guess you're going off of, my integrity, whether or not that's the question. But I can assure you, the question is not, do you know anybody who works with people who were formerly incarcerated? The question was, how do you get those people back into society? And when you get a simple question, you get this, what are you talking about?
There is a harassment right now. Yeah, I want to talk about exactly what you started. Yes. Yeah. One team. Actually, we went to high school together and Tuskegee together. And I know we're from the African that program as well.
We went to high school together. We went to Tuskegee. That's not what we're asking you. We didn't ask you who you went to school with. And that is a cheap play that, like, I don't want to say Detroit politicians. I don't want to, I don't want to do that. But what I'm saying, that's a cheap trick that politicians play in this town when they don't have any substance. We don't care who you went to school with. You've been talking for 2 minutes and you still haven't said how you're going to get people back into society. Okay, Reed. All right. It's like, what's he gonna do? Oh, I just remembered. Nothing. Riri wants to sit with me and tell me what to do. Listen, we refer to our little ones as our bosses because they really are. They really, really are our bosses. They tell us what we're doing next and what we're having for lunch and when we're having lunch, et cetera, et cetera. No, but in all sincerity, and we'll move forward here in just a moment, answer the question. Like, let me talk directly to the candidate, to the constituents here. Don't you want your questions answered?
Demographic.
This is a clear answer.
My apologies about that. I was eager to talk about this because as we were talking a moment ago, we understand that this is a growing demographic in our society just because of our penal system. One of the things that we're going to have to do, now we're talking specifically for the individuals that you're speaking of, is you've got to create a tier system. If we're really having this conversation about how to reacclimate people into society, if we're getting into into the weeds like we talked off the record, it's very obvious that someone who was convicted of wire fraud is different than someone who was convicted of hurting a child or a senior, right? So we've got to create a tier system. We understand that there are what? Non-violent criminal offenses, right? You got white-collar criminal offenses. So what we do is we start with the people that we can help. People with non-violent criminal offenses. You got people doing life sentences for selling marijuana, right? Those are the easiest people, because what's going to happen first while we are achieving some of these legislation, you got to start where you can, so that
not
you
like
can
that.
build rapport with the different groups that exist, right?
All right. You get the drift. She's not having it. Okay, Rio. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. So do I. You want to go get that ball? Go get that ball. Go get your ball. Go get your ball, mama. Go get your ball. She said she ain't going to get no ball. Boy, quit playing with her. Put some respect on her name. Nevertheless, we'll have to get into this here and there a little bit more, a little bit later. And I'll be giving you bits and pieces. I actually, quite frankly, want to get into public comment, because essentially what I'm saying to you is that one of the things that we should be able to look for our leaders to do in the future is centralize information. And I think that we have an easy avenue to do so with the technology that we have. We have the technology to do so, and I think that we should. And so I am going to be strategic as your council person about responding to information that happens in different pockets that you may not be aware of. I'll give you, if you look at the list of the sources that I have as, entities to keep me informed about what's going on in the city, you'd see how diverse they are, and the likelihood of people on average consuming all of the different, the different veins of media here is very unlikely. And so what I presented myself as is someone who can centralize that information. And I think that's going to be a part of organizing people, is getting people out of their individualistic roles, like their individualistic communities. I'm watching her to make sure she doesn't go too crazy, go too far. I'm watching her, she's watching me. Hey, Reed. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. She's going back down the hall. So, and the hall hasn't been entirely baby-proofed yet. But again, we are going to keep you informed, and we're going to ensure that no matter where this information is being shared in the city, whether it's Daily Detroit, whether it's, Detroit Black and White, whether it's Detroit is different, whether it's, the Michigan Enjoyer, we're going to keep you informed. We'll